first question I have is, what have been some of your most important learning experiences, and what did they teach you?
My most, that's a good one too. And I just learned that. I just learned this actually at 51 years old. And I've had, and over the course of time when you get a business this size, you have so many employees. And then you get a lot of friends. You get a lot of people that latch on to you. And you get a lot of those real close. And I found myself with people that got close to me thinking that they were extreme true friends. And I would do anything for them, from fly their families in to take care of them, to give them elaborate birthday parties, all that kind of stuff. And then what I realized was, the closer people get, the easier they are to stab you because you don't understand or see it, because it's not so present. You always look at certain people being certain ways, but you don't look at the people close to you being that way. So I come to a conclusion on something, and when I first meet people, especially business people that want to get into business with me or try to get close to me, I ask one question: who sent you? Now, I'm not asking did Dr. Count send you. I'm not asking that. When I ask who sent you, was it God or devil? Who sent you? Because both of them send people. They both send people your way. They send friends your way, colleagues your way, but you got to ask the question. You don't have to ask him, but you do have to have in your mind, who sent this boy? What is this boy's reason for being my friend right now? What is this guy's or girl's reason for being my friend right now? Or being my associate? Or why they're in my circle? Because your circle can't be so big. You got to have it, that hedge, as I was speaking earlier, is not that big. I just look like I got a lot of friends. It looks like I got a lot of people in my circle. I don't. My hedge is small of people that protect me. I have some associates, of course, but you have to be very careful about just about anybody that you deal with.
Besides your faith, how did you deal with adversity as a young person?
I went through some things. You have to go through some things to be able to deal with some things, because if you never go through anything, you don't know how to deal with anything. So playing high school football, playing high school basketball, I was able to overcome various things. Being an athlete, you learn to do a lot of things because you're a self-starter. You don't need people to tell you what to do. You already know how to lose. You know how bad it feels. You hate losing, so you always want to win, right? You don't want to get beat on anything. So you don't want to get beat in class. You don't want to get beat on this. You can't stand going to practice and one of your buddies got an A in a class that you thought you should have got an A in. You don't want one of your buddies looking at the stats, got 30 points and you only got 5. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn those things. You be like, man, I'm not finna get there. So I hated losing anything more than I like winning anything. So to lose was terrible. To win was okay. That's what I was supposed to do. So if I got an end zone, I'm not dancing around, jumping up and down. I belong there. Just like when I got this, you hear me talking, I have gospel music in my office and I'm thanking God all the time for the opportunity. But I feel that God put me in a position to get me here. I was supposed to be here. I don't go and tell these boys, oh man, thank y'all so much for letting me get a deal here. No, I earned this. So once you get what you earn, you just know, hey, you overcame that adversity. I still have adverse moments now. And even at this level of life, I have adverse moments. But guess what? I overcome them by what I've learned in the past.
Are there any tips or words of advice for teens and how to deal with challenges of being young and learning new things?
Don't be afraid to bump your head, because you are. You're going to do that. You're going to learn. I know you don't want to listen to your parents, but you should. The first thing I tell I tell my daughter all the time. My wife tells my wife tells my daughter this all the time. My wife say, girl, you gonna wish you heard and listened to me. You gonna wish you did such and such. And most kids are not gonna pay that attention right away until you deal with that experience. I would say this from a non-parental position of a person talking to you right now. Listen to your parents, because I will tell you this. If you're, 16, 17? You're 16, 17. Your father, mentor, or mother, or somebody has been where you already are. You're not inventing that hairdo. We had that. We did that. We did the same thing. You ain't inventing nothing you doing. Nothing you think you slick at, nothing you think you getting away with, nothing think you put that little tube top in your purse and think you leave the house like that and you got that when you get to the party. Y'all ain't invent that. Y'all ain't inventing nothing you doing. We didn't invent it. Our parents didn't invent it. Nah, their parents probably invented it. But we didn't. So anything that we're telling y'all or somebody mentor telling you, guess what? They've already been there. They see the signs. They see what's about to happen. They just don't want you to go through it. But I tell my wife all the time, let her go through that. Let her bump her head. Let her run into the wall, because the only way you learn not to keep doing it was to hit your head. Because if you don't let her hit her head, she don't know what it feels like. Let her hit her head one time. And I promise you, that's what she'll mark that. I ain't gonna do that no more. So you gotta let them hit the head. So that's what I'll tell you. Hey, we know you're gonna bump your head every night, but listen to your parents. Listen to your mentors. They're telling you the right thing. They're just trying to navigate you not to get in certain situations. And you'll be more conscious of it when you see those situations come up. You know what I'm saying? You go drink with your buddies or whatever. You don't drink now, but you're probably, whatever you do get involved in, you'll start seeing the little things, your subtle things. You'll be doing subtle things without even knowing it. Be like, don't leave your cup. Like we'll tell my daughter, don't leave your cup. If you leave the cup, get you another one. We tell her that all the time. I don't care what it is. If you leave your cup, go get another one. Why you do that? And then she sees stuff on the news. We sure, guess what she'll do when she go to a party or something? I bet she won't drink out of the same cup. Because it's in her mind. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I told you don't be at that party late at night. Don't be the last girl there. Guess what she won't do? She won't be the last girl there. These little subtle things that you have to implement that we try to tell y'all to do, that y'all think y'all already know. We've done it.
My last question is, what advice do you give to future generations?
Go after your dream, nobody else's, because you're going to have the roadmap. And when you do go after your dream, do me one favor. The most powerful and successful people are two things. They're well-read, that's the first thing. Yeah. Extremely well-read, and they are very good goal setters. You have to set goals of what accomplishments you want to have. I wrote Heggs Automotive on a sheet of paper 6 years ago, and I wrote a dealership on a paper 18 years ago, when I first retired basketball. Now I have 2 dealerships, and Heggs is the name of them. So you have to set goals. So what you were saying is, what are my future goals? So I wrote those goals too. So if you go in my office, I have Pegasus Express, which is my next venture. It's been sitting there for 8 months. Doc said every time you come by, it's sitting right there because that's my next goal. I have to see it. You have to write it, see it, believe it. If you don't write it, how do you know what you want to do? If you don't believe it, how do you think you're going to achieve it? So you can't achieve it if you don't believe it, right? So you have to believe what you want, but you have to write it down. Whether you want to get an A in class, whether you want to do whatever the case may be, write it down as your goal, and you have to do things to mimic that goal. So you can't just say, oh, I want to have a dealership, but never work in one. Don't save your money to do it. How are you going to get there? There have to be steps to the goal. So you write the goal, then you back down the steps that it's going to take to get there. But you have to do that on everything you do. And stay well read. Nothing like being a grown brother not being able to articulate the things that's on his mind. I see it all the time. I got 50-year-old buddies that I'm like, that boy hadn't read a book in 10 years or 20. But you have to be well read to be well versed in the things that you want to do in life. Because you only get one chance to make a first impression. One. And that would be my comment to you. You only get one chance to make that first impression. I tell my daughter that all the time. And I tell my little buddies that, little boys that do, I do a little mentor thing with the guys, come in with this pants sag, and I say, now what do you think I just saw? Your pants down, your hair is not combed. Now this hair is fine. You just need to edge them up, and whenever you do that, if you're gonna wear it wild, edge it up so it looks like you're groomed, right? You do that already. But when the boys come in there with the hair all nappy and then the pants sagging, and then you wanna come and visit me, I said, we got a problem. And the problem is, you're not, if I looked at you that way, and I'm not even getting your job, I'm not even giving you a job, I'm not afraid of you. Guess what that man looking at you doing? Man, with this boy, you done cause fear and put a perception in his mind before you even open up your mouth. You can have a Harvard education, but if that's what he sees, that's what he thinks. So it don't matter.
Yeah.
Cool. Any more questions?
I don't know.
No? You have another?
What happened?
That's all right. Take your time, like Zen.
Well, while she's thinking of her question, this is not my interview, but I have to ask this. When I was researching Did you actually win the lottery when you were in Texas?
I actually won a couple times, not to that extent, not to that level.
Okay.
I won some small. I won some 50,000, 20,000, stuff like
I'll
that.
take that.
I won a couple.
Wow.
I won a few like that, and it was funny. I went and got a scratch off and went to work, and I would around the corner from my daughter's school, so I drop her off and I go get my little scratchers, and it was just something I always did, and I go and ever since I was young, I used to play cards all the time. So I did gambling when I was 10. So I had the lawnmower business, I park it, so I got my money. So I'm gonna go, when I say gamble, that means me and my other 10-year-old buddies.
Yeah.
So when they come to the house, they look $5. I take all their little $5. They play a tongue out, boy, give me my money. Boy, they go home crying, so we have to feed them. Then they go home telling my man, you ain't believe what I spent my money. And they already knew, you going down there, but you better leave having alone down there. I had that same, to this day, they still think that same thing. I go home and we play those same games. They bring your money out, cuz. I was like, boy, y'all don't want none of that. And so one boy walked by and said, how y'all think y'all gonna beat that man? That boy got more money than the casino. That boy, y'all can't beat that boy. I said, sure enough, it's all about who got the most. Hey, I had a lawnmower business, I had more money so I could lose more, right? I got more opportunities to lose. You can't stand to lose money. Because if I beat you 2-3 times, you done. But you gotta beat me a lot. So, yeah, but I did win that. It was $1 million. So I went down there, took it down there, and they gave me my $750,000. I paid my house off, and I didn't pay my house off. My house was the one I was in. I actually was selling, and we were about to buy another house. We were in the middle of buying another house, and I won that $1 million. Put it in the bank. The bank asked me, "Where you get that $1 million from?" I said, "None of your business. There it is, right there." So I went to write him a check for the house, and the man said, "Oh, we need to know where the money comes from." I said, "Man. First of all, the money in the bank. So why you ask me? I got it. I ain't like no drug money, man. The money right there." I ended up buying out because I had to buy all the furniture in the house first because it was a model home. So we bought all the furniture for about $45,000. Gave them a check for that. So that's why they asked the question. I just gave them a check. I said, okay, I did play professional basketball for 13 years also. That means I had a little change there. Remember, they saw me pull up in the Cadillac Escalade one day, had a Corvette the next day. They were like, "What the boy doing?" That same, right? I said, y'all don't want to see what I drive now. Y'all don't want to see that one. No, I'm just
Anyway, I saw that and I'm like, I'll have to ask about
Yes,
that.
yes.
That's cool. Jacqueline, did you?
Oh, yeah. If you could like change like one, like if you could like change one thing, what would you change?
That's actually a very easy question.
Okay.
Nothing. Not one thing. Because if I change anything, I wouldn't be who I am right now. So there's nothing I would change. There's not one adverse moment. There's not one struggle. There's not one reward or adulation. Nothing. There's nothing. I wouldn't change a moment when I cried about something. I wouldn't change anything because it has built me into the man who I am today. So I would stay the course because all that stuff grooms you into who you're going to become.
Is there anything that wasn't said that you would want said when we present you?
Now, you guys had some very, very good questions. I mean, very thoughtful questions also, extremely thoughtful, because I guess y'all probably did a little research on me first, and then came in and did it. So those are extremely thoughtful questions. So most people would have an interview, if they would just come and ask you a few things, they would ask you about 5 questions, and that's for everybody. You guys had some very in-depth questions, and no, that was, I mean, y'all covered everything. I don't think there's one thing you didn't cover. Y'all covered it all. So no, y'all did an exceptional job. Exceptional job. So what are your aspirations?
Me?
See, I was just at the top point right at you. You just like me. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I was just putting that scenario. But I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to college next year. But I'm playing basketball right now. I have 2 colleges looking at me. And I'm probably going to go into some engineering job. I'm not quite sure where yet. I don't know if I want to do. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm getting there, and it's definitely better than it was a few months ago because I had absolutely no idea what I wanted.
You had no idea.
No idea. But yeah.
So you play basketball? What position?
Forward.
How much you average?
15.
How much you bench?
You gonna bring the weights in?
You got some curls.
Oh, that's curls, yeah.
It's been a minute.
You know what I tell guys all the time? That's the funniest thing you said. That's funny. So I was talking to a guy one day, when a young kid, and one of my guys here that worked for me had a son about 6'9", and I had another guy that had a son about 6'3", and he played for Mesa Community College, and one was trying to get into college, and I have buddies at Kentucky that is a coach and was going to try to get him a shot. So we were working out. I take him over to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. First he dragged it in there, late a couple of times. I'm like, okay, late a few more times, and then he throwing up after the workout. I said, so what do you want to do? I want to play pro ball, Big Al. Mr. Heggs, I want to play pro ball. I say everybody does until they realize what it takes, because it takes more than what you think. Because you standing there talking, you don't know how much you bench press, and you don't know, hey, boy, you better start getting in the gym right now. And not even just professional, the next level. Because you want to be able to go as far as you can with the career you got, so it can help you with the future that you want to have, right? Because I only played basketball for 13 years. I retired when I was 33. I've been in the car business for 18. So if I played 13 years, and that's a long extensive up to 33 years old, that's not even a third, that's a third of my life. So what are you gonna do with the other 2/3? What's the other 2/3 gonna be? You gotta figure out the next step before that step gets there. Now you have the opportunity to think about the next step in college before you get there. You have another year to think about what you're gonna do and how you're gonna get there and what it's gonna take for you to do what you wanna do. It's gonna take commitment and dedication, and you gotta be committed to every facet of your life. One, you gotta be committed to your profession. If that's what you wanna do, you're gonna play sports, get yourself conditioned and be ready to do it. If you wanna be an engineer, get those books, because you know you need the grades. And if you wanna get to there, do not cross over and mess with these girls before time. You follow me? Because the only one should be looking at that girl should be her mama, and her doctor. You follow me? And I ain't jiving with you, I'm serious. That's dead serious, because boy, you start getting derailed. You be working over here cleaning up these cars. They tell you, yeah, I was gonna be an engineer. What happened? I got a baby. Yeah, yeah. You got engineering, man. You know what? I need an engineer. I need a car wash engineer. You follow me? It's fun. It's fun to games until it happens. So let's not let it happen. Cool. Any other questions? You're right. I want to talk to him. That's why I wish I had a son. I'm glad I got a daughter. See, I would have had a son, I would be tough on him. I would be popping him all the time. And my wife's like, you wouldn't have did that to that boy. I used to discipline all the boys, the little kids in the neighborhood. I come home from playing ball, all the single moms. I mean, that boy ain't gonna act right. Them boys like, oh Lord, he humble. Go right over there. Come on, where that boy at? I take my gun off, go right over there. Hey, back then you could beat kids. You can't beat kids. Now you can't just go across the street and beat them like man, China 12 would be over there so fast. Back then in the neighborhood, boy, we like, what? Oh, I was the enforcer. You know, boy, I see them kids now. What's it, man? You used to beat me. I say, yeah, I don't look like I did a good job. I ain't in this street still. Wish I would beat you again. That's all. But any more questions? I have time. I'm not going to rush to do whatever.
Did anyone else want to share their future?
Yeah, and what's your future?
So I think I want to go to college in North Carolina next
Really?
year.
Where?
I'm not sure yet. I'm looking at Elon University, Wake Forest, UNC Charlotte, High Point University.
My nephew just went to Wake Forest.
Really?
He's just a freshman there.
Really?
Plays football at number 78 on the offensive line.
Wow. He likes it?
They just won the championship. They just won a bowl game.
Yeah.
He sent us a picture of him with his bowl jersey. The first kid after the game was over with the hats, they give you the hats. He was the first one on television getting his hat.
Really?
He didn't play because he redshirted this year.
Okay.
But he was on the field with his little jersey and his little pads on and all. Great school. He went to all private schools back in Jacksonville, and then he ended up going there. His father's a 29-year firefighter.
Wow.
He's a chief over there in Jacksonville, so he's a big old boy. He's about you about what, 6'5"? So he's 6'5", 325. He's a big old boy, man. So yeah, they needed him. They wanted him. So Wake Forest is a great place.
Yeah.
What are you going to study?
Journalism.
Journalism.
Yes.
Oh, you already got a great start. You already got a great start. So what's the main thing about journalism, you think?
I love writing. I think I want to focus on human rights and social injustice. That's what I'm really interested in. So I'm
Great.
not quite sure if I want to go into broadcasting or exactly what I want to do yet. So
That's
the
pretty
schools I'm
cool.
looking at, I want to make sure they're broad enough so I can explore all of that.
Absolutely. Excellent. Now, why do you want to go to North Carolina?
All my family's there. That's where
Oh, that's where you're from?
I was born there.
Okay, and you were born here?
No, I was born in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Young lady, what's your aspiration?
I'm not really sure yet, but I'm really into biology and sciences.
So in
And
the medical field.
yeah, possibly.
Okay.
And also research, maybe. I want to do research within oceans, like marine biologists.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was looking at a thing the other day. Matter of fact, I saw this commercial for the first time. And these guys with these bracelets that are made out of plastic that are actually cleaning up the oceans.
Yeah.
And then that's the way they fund their organization, by these bracelets that you buy. So you can go online and buy these bracelets, which funds it. And they started out with the two of them cleaning up the oceans. And then now they clean up oceans in 17 different countries.
I actually have tons of those bracelets at home.
Really? That's what I'm talking about, right? That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Yes. And I thought that was great. I was like, man, that is 200 tons of plastics out of the ocean. I'm thinking,
It's
my
insane.
God, that's amazing. People don't know the impact of the things that we do, the small things that we think are okay, but then none of those things are okay by any means.
So
That's amazing.
I'm really interested in developing something that'll keep our Earth safe for like the future, because we're not gonna be here forever.
No. You need to pass it on better than it was before we got here.
No,
that's smart. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, where you want to go to school?
I really don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Now, what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, that's my daughter. That's sophomore. That's 10th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what she's
Yeah.
in 10th grade. You're
senior.
senior.
I'm a senior.
Senior. Okay. So y'all have more. Yeah, you got young lady.
I don't know. I guess I like art right now. I don't know if I'll always like it.
Art in what sense? Like performing arts?
I like reading and I like drawing.
Oh, okay. And I used to love to draw also. I used to draw all the time. And you're too young to know this too. So in the Ebony magazine, y'all remember Ebony? Mm-hmm. So in the Ebony magazine, they had a thing that say, draw this picture and send it in. And they give you $10,000 towards a scholarship on this picture. So I was like, man, it was always a turtle with a hat on. And I remember that, I'll never forget that. So I drew that turtle with the hat on, and I drew that sucker all nice and sent it in. And the guy comes to our house and says, we think we want to offer him a scholarship. And I'm like, what? To draw? I'm like, that's different. and I didn't go, obviously. So I used to draw the mirrors in my high school, my junior high school. So we would have these drawing contests, and I would draw the different mirrors. And they were like, oh, yeah, you won that and all that. So I was quite artistic in that aspect. I did that a lot. But I used to do that all the time. When I was dating my girlfriend, I would draw pictures and flowers. So I write a letter, then draw a picture, write a letter, draw a picture. So now, 31 years later, she still has all of those drawings.
Oh, nice.
And she showed them to my daughter. And she's like, your daddy was artistic. So when she has projects, I'm always wanting to help her. Like, come on, let me show you this. Say, draw that, Daddy. So I was like, she said, I said, how you knew Daddy could draw? Mama showed me all those pictures. I was like, I hope she showed all of them, but no, that's good. So what grade are you at?
I'm in 9th grade.
9th grade?
Yeah, I'm a freshman.
So that's freshman, okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No. Yeah, that's way too early. You just thinking about the next basketball game y'all having. You ain't thinking about none of that.
Yeah, I feel like if I did try to plan my life from here, it ended up being really boring.
Yeah. Go ahead and let some things happen. Yeah, get your couple more years, let some happen. Yeah. As things happen, you'll start getting a little better understanding of what you want to do. No, that's good. You all, what would y'all like to discuss? Or if, what's funny, the ASU Law School, my daughter has gone to the law camp 2 years in a row.
Wonderful.